So this is really the only unusual thing about it.
All right, so after months of anticipation, we have the William Lane ProMaster. We got Jason here going to tell us what's going on. Just real quick, it is an awesome custom built big old ProMaster with the rear lift, and it's going to be a sweet deal. So I'm going to have Jason go through a couple things about this vehicle before we go to the VA for inspection. So Jason, what you got for us, bud?
Most everything's going to be standard on this vehicle, as such as things we've done before. The unusual thing that on this vehicle is that the on-off switches that are for the door operators. Because the interlock cannot control the door operators, there's going to be two systems: the door operator system and the interlock system. You're going to notice that there's an on-off switch right here that has an ACE-style key. Also on the dash is going to be another on-off switch, which is located right here. So these switches are wired in series. When the switch is on and the switch is on in the back, the door operators will work through the remote. If one of these switches is turned off, the doors will not operate. The magnets won't operate them, nothing will operate the doors. So when the customer is in the car, they can turn off this switch, turning off the doors. When they get ready to leave the vehicle, they will turn on this switch. The outside switch will already be on. And when they exit the vehicle, they will then turn off the switch. When they enter the vehicle, they will reverse that procedure, turning on the switch to enter the vehicle, getting in here and turning it off. If this switch is on and the outside switch is on, the door operators will open the doors. Now, once the door operators are on, parking brake is set, vehicle is in park, and the door operators are operated, you'll notice then the door ajar light kicks on once the door is coming on. That actually energizes the lift. So if the parking brake is not set and you open the doors, you still will not have lift operation. Once this is done, the doors will open up and then we have full lift operation. The customer does not have to turn off these switches, but there is a relay being energized when these switches are turned on, so they should turn them off so that the vehicle is secure. No one else can enter the vehicle through the magnetic switches or using any other method. Once that's done, all the lift operations are going to be normal at that point in time.
It's really important that this has to be on and on, right? Interlock on and the door lock on. Is that right?
Correct. But there's just the two kind of systems. That's where a little bit things might get like. So
yeah.
Obviously, if they don't have the parking brake set, they turn these on. The door operators will work.
Okay.
The door will swing open, but the interlock will not
Gotcha.
allow the lift to energize.
Gotcha.
One of the reasons we did it that way is so that when the customer's in the vehicle, if this door is ajar, there's going to be a big light on the interlock saying so. Plus, they won't be able to shift from park. But that way, it kind of creates a safety net to where when they get in the vehicle, they can ensure that the doors are actually shut once they have stowed the lift and got into the vehicle. Once they exit the vehicle and have the door secure, then they can take their switch and turn it off, and now the lift is unoperational. The vehicle is now secure. The switch inside is still on. The switch outside is off.
Gotcha.
When they get to it, they're going to then turn on this switch, allowing them to enter the vehicle. Once they are in the driver's seat, they need to turn off that switch to eliminate those door operators from being inadvertently operated while the vehicle is in motion.
Okay.
I think that's the main thing on it. There's obviously the other things on there, such as the magnetic mounted switches on the tail lights, the switches mounted on the dash, and the power parking brake switch on the dash as well. Pendant location is going to be right here. The pendant location will operate everything, including the doors, as long as those conditions we previously discussed are met.
She's got a pendant and a remote control both.
Pendant remote control dash switches and the magnetic switches, which are located here.
Okay.
For the most part, I assume they're just going to use the remote control. That's the convenience factor. But they will need to use this physically to get in and out of the vehicle.
Okay.
Like I said, they don't have to turn this off. but there is a relay energized under there. You don't want to leave that on for extended periods of time. I know we have the dual batteries, but relays aren't meant to be left on for, 3 days and stuff like that.
Okay.
Other than that, I think that's pretty good shape.
Okay,
Any
cool.
questions?
No, so if you're going to tell Lane how to easily operate this, because sometimes they what they should do and they don't always do what they should do. So if he doesn't turn that thing off every time, he could go. I mean, could he go non-stop without ever turning that off?
Well, like I said, there is a relay that's being energized that's allowing the door operators to have power. So if you're going to go in somewhere for 45 minutes or something like that, no, you don't have to turn it off. But if you're parking it overnight, 3 days,
Okay.
the relay is energized and it is pulling some current.
Okay.
So I would definitely recommend getting into the habit of doing that.
Okay. So overnight you should do it, and if it's going to be multiple days, you should do it. Because I'm just thinking out loud, it may not happen every day or every time you park the car.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And then up front, as far as the hand controls, can you show us those again?
Hand controls here, drop down blinker, parking brake, push and hold to engage, tap once to release.
That's really easy.
And we also have your standard pedal guards to ensure that you don't operate the pedals inadvertently.
That goes on and off real easy. You got your MPS push start angle, your electronic parking brake, which is really cool installed, very clean. Your drop down blinkers, which is nice. You lift in the back, your seat in the middle, your extra seat, flip seat on the side. It's quite a vehicle here.
The pendant does have an on-off switch, kind of obvious on it. I don't think they're going to be using the pendant a whole lot, but it is there if they need to use it.
And that is detachable too, you can pull it out?
Yes, it unplugs right here from this Molex right here.
You can just pull it, it's a nice little easy clip, to pull off too, so.
Well, it's got a screw-on connector. I mean, you got to kind of unscrew it and it just pops right off.
The actual handle, you can pull it off, you can just, is that mounted to the, you just take
No, it's just got a CV style mount.
See that easy, yeah, see that, take it on, take it off. So if you're on the inside, learn to deploy it, you can
Yeah.
easily do it.
Like I said, most of their operation, I believe, is going to be done through the remote control. But other than that,
All right, good stuff, thank
I
you,
will
Jason.
mark those screws on here
Okay.
and leave. I'll just use some blue tape, and then that way they can be screwed. It comes on and off real easy.
This vehicle has a backup battery to it too, so.
Yeah.
It's actually mounted in the back left.
The backup battery is being charged whenever the vehicle is being driven, but will only integrate when the vehicle is being started. So obviously you can run the lift all day. If you go to start the vehicle, the front battery is low. That will engage the rear battery to help you get started.
Well, thank you very much, Jason. Great job.
Pendant for the transfer
Yeah.
seat.
Transfer
Right there.
seat, pendant and switch, both of them. That blends in really nice and clean too in that black leather.
And we did install a shoulder belt just in case this chair is occupied while the vehicle is in motion. I understand that for the most part they were going to transfer once the chair was stowed, transfer into a seat, but this way if they do have it occupied, they can still use it.
Great. Good stuff. There you go. There's the ProMaster with all kinds of customizations on a ProMaster chassis with the extended and the high top as well with the rear lift.